TF2 is an extremely unique game with a lot of weapons that follow the game's general level of creativity. Today's weapon is from a class that I really like and I would consider my secondary, maybe even my main, but I don't have as much playtime on him as I do on Heavy. And the topic for today's video is the Eureka Effect. For those of you who don't know, the Eureka Effect is a wrench and it has one of the most unique upsides of any item in the game. The Eureka effect has the ability that lets you teleport to either your spawn or your teleporter exit, even if your teleporter exit is inactive. Keep that in mind, it will become important later. Now, the other upside of the weapon is also extremely powerful, but it's a lot less flashy. Basically, every teleporter you build only costs half the metal, and you only need half the metal to upgrade it. So with 200 metal, you can get a level 3 teleporter set up. And while that is really powerful, again, it doesn't seem as cool as instant teleportation, allowing the engineer to effectively set his spawn point wherever he wants on the map. Now, the weapon does have two downsides, both of which can factor into the gameplay, but one is really the only one that you'll see really being important most of the time. The less important of the two downsides is the fact that your construction speed is slowed down by 50%, which is a pretty big downside, but it doesn't matter too much because you usually aren't building right in front of people where they can easily shoot your things. If you're playing engineer correctly, you'll be setting up your buildings pretty far away from enemies, and even if they are close, they aren't going to be within the direct line of sight to shoot your sentry most of the time, or dispenser or teleporter or whatever you're building. But the secondary downside is actually the one that I think is a little bit more important. The fact that it gives you 20% less metal from all sources is a pretty big deal. That means you only get 32, 80, and 60 metal from packs instead of 40, 100, and 200. But I'll show you how to make this weapon really good still. So I think the best starting point for the weapon is talking about it on offense. Being an engineer wrench not called the gunslinger, it's not really common to see on offense. That, however, does not indicate the weapon's power, because it's still really good on offense. The fact that you almost always have a level 3 teleporter up is really useful to help your team get into the front lines faster. As well as the fact that you can always just teleport back to spawn for infinite metal, it helps you, keep your nest up. So it's really easy to just set a nest up somewhere, hold down that point, and then from there your team can start developing their push, and you can just kind of play aggressive from there. Doing things like focusing on maintaining your teleporter and dispenser, and while making sure that your sentry is definitely still defending your areas you need defended. Remember that on offense as engineer, you're primarily there to be a support and kinda damage class. Like, don't get me wrong, the shotgun is way better than you realize, and it's pretty good at getting kills, but you're still designed for defense. So I'd recommend just kind of put a sentry down, put a dispenser down, get a really good nest going. From there, play minorly fat scout. Just kind of walk at the enemy, get some shots in, heal your sentry, keep your dispenser, teleporter, and sentry up. That's about it. Usually, my loadout whenever I'm running the weapon is the stock shotgun or the Frontier Justice, the Wrangler. Now, it's time to talk about what I'm pretty sure most of you wanted me to talk about since the video started. Hey, so remember back to when in the intro I told you you could use your teleporter exits even if they weren't finished? This is why that's important. Engineering is the art, and I do think it's an art form, of teleporting behind the enemy for free and easy kills. There are two primary forms of engineering. You can either go for sentry placements, or you can go try and engineer for free kills with a shotgun. While yes, in theory, using your sentry to try and get kills from behind the enemy sounds like it's really good, the main issue is you're committing a lot of resources to it. Like, if you're on offense, you're more likely to be the only engineer. And if you're the only engineer, wasting your teleporter so you can go get some free kills is a pretty big downside. Plus, trying to keep your sentry up and alive on offense is a little bit difficult when there's a lot of people trying to kill it. And if you are on defense, it's a really big waste to put your teleporter somewhere just to try and get kills with your sentry gun. Because, I mean, your teleporter is a big part of what makes engineer good. Teleporters can win games because they get people to respawn faster, and on defense you need that. You have a 20-second respawn timer. And yes, notice how I am saying you can engineer on offense and defense because there's nothing stopping you from doing it on both. Really, all you gotta do is find a good spot for your teleporter. So yeah, whenever it comes to engineering, I would recommend sticking to the shotgun, maybe the Frontier Justice. If you want to be really cool, stick with the Widowmaker, but just don't place your sentry there. try and get a sentry set up somewhere else. And yeah, you can go for a sentry clip or two, but I'd recommend just mainly focusing on trying to get behind the enemy and get some free shots in. Don't get me wrong, sentry placements can be fun, and you can do a lot of really funny things with like a hidden sentry that gets wrangled and you just snipe someone for free. But I would really recommend just trying to get shotgun kills. It is much, much better. And now it's time for the necessary channel plug. If you've been enjoying the video, please like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you can to try and boost the channel. It'd really help out. I hit 15 subs recently, and that was my first major subscriber goal. So if you'd like to keep going, I mean, hey, maybe I'll hit 20 before I make like 15 more videos. But yeah, if you like the video, please like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you can. You can always change your mind. Anyways, back to what we were talking about. So yeah, the Eureka effect on defense. It's kind of weird, right? Most TF2 content about Engineer is focused on Battle NG, but it's really weird to think that even in most content where people talk about his defensive use, you never see this weapon brought up. It's almost exclusively talked about for an engineer. And I'm here to say that that's a pretty big shame. This weapon has a lot of versatility when it comes to being a defensive item. I mean, the fact that you can basically just choose to have infinite metal at any time is a pretty big upside. Plus, the Jag effect rollout exists, and I mean, hey, the Jag effect rollout's sick. Plus, it basically has no downsides on defense. I mean, you don't have to worry about the ammo restriction because you always have more metal when you just teleport back to spawn, and you don't have to worry about your sentry and dispenser and teleporter building slower because you build them before the enemy gets there. So that basically just leaves you with a normal wrench that can have you teleport to your exit for free while also giving you faster and easier to build teleporters. And you can play like normal defensive engineer. You don't have to engineer with it on defense. You can just set up your dispenser, set up your teleporter, set up your sentry, and then play engineer. You're only missing out on the jag from the normal loadout, so like you're not missing that much. You still have the Wrangler, you still have the Rescue Ranger, you can still heal your sentry and deal a bunch of damage. So it's not that big of a difference. It's kind of just a weapon that has no downsides on defense, pretty minimal downsides on offense, and the only real reason people don't use it more is opportunity cost. So yeah, that about wraps up my thoughts on the Eureka effect. It's really good, pretty underrated. I think it deserves a lot more love. Shout outs to all my subscribers and everyone who's watching because my channel's been doing really good recently, actually. I think I'm about to pass like 10K views. I've been getting a lot of views on my channel. But yeah, just thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for supporting. Thank you guys for being the best. Love you guys. Bye bye.